SuperTalk Mississippi media production. Pike County, here comes your morning show. Dave in the morning on 93.5 FM, SuperTalk Mississippi.
So now, understand, you're not going to dictate to me what I do and what I don't do, but I'm still the mayor, Mr. Brown.
None of this meeting is recorded. None by any parties. Correct?
No, sir, none is recorded. I'm being accused.
Any contact.
Said I want to make it on record. I want the allegations in writing, or the accused, or on recording of this harassment.
And now, here's your host, Dave Hughes.
Good morning to you on a Tuesday. It is Tuesday, right? Is it Tuesday? Yeah, it's Tuesday. Okay. I don't know. They all run together. I don't know who decided every day needed to end with a Y, but it confuses me some weeks. It's Tuesday, and on this beautiful Tuesday morning, we have with us an interesting guest. I love this. We've talked about it several times, but most people, I think, still are not aware that Southwest Health Systems over at Southwest Mississippi Regional Medical Center has a midwife on staff. Well, not at the moment, because she's in the studio with me. Miss Tera Gibbons is joining me. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Fantastic to have you here. Now, let me ask you right up front, how long have you been on the staff as a midwife at Southwest?
So as a midwife, a little over 2.5 years now, but I've worked at Southwest since 2013. I've been there since I was a tech, all the way through being a nurse, all the way through being a midwife now.
So you're just continuing to work your way up. I like you're going to be running the place before it's over with. You watch. Now, you started as a tech in 2013. There's a lot of very specific training you have to go through to become a certified midwife, right?
Yes. So I didn't start out necessarily wanting to be a midwife, but I started out as a nurse tech while I was in nursing school, began working in labor and delivery for a little while. And just kind of as I was watching and growing as a nurse in labor and delivery, I kind of got the itch to wanted to be a part of it a little bit more. So certified nurse midwives are APRNs, so we're advanced practice nurse practitioners. So we have master's degrees or doctorate degrees. So I went back to grad school, and that's a 2-year program after having your bachelor's in nursing, and begged them for a job, essentially. Told them what a wonderful thing midwifery could do for Southwest Mississippi, and so here we are.
And it is a really good thing because more options is always better to me, just at the baseline level. But it's a lot more personal, I think, would be the way I would look at it.
Yes. So the beautiful thing about midwifery care is that it is more of a holistic approach. Though usually the way I describe it to patients is you are the captain of the ship, but I'm the navigator. I'm going to present those options to you, and this is what we can do. And we just kind of work together and go from there. We are held to the same standard as an OBGYN. So we practice evidence-based medicine. We're going to look at our superiors as far as ACOG and ACNM, but we are still going to put that personalized touch on it. Some patients choose to do midwifery in the home, or they want more lower intervention options. However, in Pike County and in Mississippi as a whole, we are a little bit more higher risk. We have obesity, we have chronic hypertension, we have diabetes. And for those women that would traditionally risk out of midwifery care and they would be too high risk for that, we can offer this in the hospital setting where we know, okay, your baby needs to be monitored because you are high risk, but we have wireless monitoring now. And so you can still move around in labor. You can still deliver in the position that is comfortable for you. And we know movement in labor reduces C-section risk, and it reduces labor times and other complications associated with that. So that's where I come in.
Well, as a guy, I have zero experience in giving birth. I freely admit that right up front. It's always seemed like a horrifically painful and inefficient system that was designed for the female body. So anything we can do to make that a little bit of an easier trip, I think is exactly what we need to be doing.
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
Now, you said that people can choose this. It's just like an option on the menu when they go to Southwest Regional for childbirth, right? So yes, it is an option. If you know going in that you want midwifery care, then absolutely, I'm your girl. But what I have found is that with my mentors and physicians, not only are they teaching me, but I find that I see them doing some positions in labor that I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. So I think we work really collaboratively together. And even if you do become too high risk for midwifery care, but you want to move in labor, we have great physicians there. You know, no matter who they are, where they're going to listen to you and be conscious of your birth preferences. Now, one thing that I want to bring out here is that midwifery doesn't start when the contractions hit, does it?
No, it starts way from the beginning, even before having children. Midwifery care is all-encompassing. Once a girl hits puberty, we can care for them, whether it's preconception, whether it's contraception, annual visits. We can care for them through the lifespan, through menopause even. The best time to take prenatals, we know, is even before you know that you are pregnant. So knowing that education when we see you for your annual visit or when you're on contraception and you're thinking about having a baby in a year or two, midwifery can still assist you in those things and talk with you the same way as a physician would.
And bring that knowledge. And of course, you know, if something happens, if there's a complication, you've got the staff there that you can call on, right?
Absolutely. So I work in a consult, collaborate, refer model with my physicians, which usually means I'm running down the hall going, hey, I got a question, or what do you think about this? But we work very closely together. I'm not a surgeon, and so whenever we need to bring in the big guns, they are literally a phone call away. When I'm on call, we always have a physician on backup. But even if you've had a C-section before and you still want a little bit more personalized care, a little bit more focus on education, I assist in the C-sections with our physicians. So it can still be an option for you if you want to try a VBAC, which is a vaginal birth after cesarean, but then we decide, no, maybe a C-section is the way to go. I truck down the hall and say, hey, can we get a C-section scheduled? And then I still get to assist and be a part of that, which is something I really love doing with the physicians.
Now, see, me personally, I thought once you have a C-section, that's kind of the way you're going. Everybody's leaving through the window.
So not always, but it is something that we look at very closely and we decide, are you a good candidate for it? If you are, if it is, you know, the first time you had one baby and then it was a C-section and then you desired to try a vaginal birth, we look at the reasons why. Was it because the baby didn't do well, or was it because, you know, maybe the baby was too large or the pelvis was too small? And so there are things that we are going to look at your whole medical care and decide what is going to be right for you, and we're going to talk about it.
Well, what you're saying there just backs up everything I've ever known about the medical profession. There is no such thing as a one-size-fits-all answer. Every single person is a unique situation.
Absolutely.
How do you not go to bed with an enormous headache every night dealing with this?
Prayers. Lots and lots of prayers. No, I have a good system. We have a great team. We have wonderful labor and delivery nurses. We have wonderful physicians. And so because we all work together with it, we all kind of share that load together. And it really is a fun job. It's tiring, but it is rewarding. So.
Well, it would have to be. Do you, this is a completely off the normal train of thought question, but I have to know because it's one of my favorite things in the world. Do you get to hold the babies?
If I ask nicely.
Okay. That's an important part of the process. There's your reward.
I've got to have a perk.
Yes, there it is. That's your bonus. Yeah, you get to hold a little baby. That, man, there's nothing better than that in the world. Now, midwifery, if they come in and they ask for you and you get started in the process and you go, how does that work in terms of insurance and payment and all of that? Is it basically the same process?
So same process, almost because certified nurse midwives are recognized in all 50 states. We're licensed and credentialed in all 50 states. Almost every insurance is going to take us. Medicaid, which is a large portion of our population, accepts us as well. So it is definitely an option regardless of your insurance. But it is something that our billing can always check with.
Well, and I wanted to ask that question because someone might be sitting there going, this would be great. What's that cost?
Exactly.
It's no different. You're going to have the baby one way or the other. So explore all of your options. And I think it's great. We don't have midwife services everywhere all over the state, do we?
No, it's growing, but we are definitely in Southwest Mississippi. I'm currently the only one. Otherwise, you've got to go somewhere north. Jackson, their midwifery program's growing. Midwifery is growing statewide and nationwide, but it is a slow process. So it's something that we are proud to have here in Pike County right now.
So what I'm hearing is when you have a meeting of the midwives of Southwest Mississippi, you just go get some ice cream and sit quietly somewhere.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But any plans that you know of to maybe expand that in the future?
I would love to. It's something that we have kind of talked about. I don't think there's anything in stone yet, but if I could, maybe if administration's listening but if I could just pick away in my own little world, I would say absolutely. Let's have a whole team of midwives that can help support Pike County. But as of right now, it's just me, so we'll see. But I do think it's growing for sure. So.
Well, and it is a great option because I said back at the beginning, it's a little more personal. That's not to take anything away from the doctors. I know most of them, they're fantastic people, but they're usually running around with their hair on fire because they have so many patients, whereas a midwife really gets to know the mom. And hopefully, in your case, if you've earned perks, the baby once it's here as well.
Yes, once hopefully so. Yes, so our physicians, what I like to think about it is because I do have them on backup for C-sections or emergencies, the way that I can help them is when they are doing surgeries. Midwives specialize in lower risk birth and lower risk patients. So where I can take that on and lighten their load, they are there when I need them for an emergency situation. So it's a great symbiotic relationship.
I like that. Ooh, big word.
I know.
Woman sounds like she went through 6 years of college is what it sounds like over here. Now, if someone is interested in this, I think most people have heard the word midwife before, but they don't really know much about it or how it works or what purpose it serves. How would they find out more about it?
So, obviously call in our clinic, call in the hospital, asking in labor and delivery, but we have a great class that has now, I guess, become an annual thing. We started it last year, but we're doing a midwifery one-on-one class. And so what that is it's going to talk about how midwifery fits into specifically Southwest health systems and how it works for us. Because midwives they do different things in different places. And so this is tailored strictly to our hospital and what we do. So next Monday, which next week is midwifery week, but next Monday at 5:30, we are hosting a class that'll be on 6th floor of the hospital. On 214 Marion Avenue. We're having some remodels. There's exciting things coming.
Yes, there are. If you haven't been by the hospital, there's paint everywhere. My favorite thing so far is one of those glass push doors across the street from the main hospital that in spray paint it says "do not open." The entire door has been taken off and is leaning against the wall, and I'm like, well, it's kind of pre-opened. I'm not really sure what good the message is doing. But yeah, so go ahead. I'm sorry. It's at 214.
It's going to be at 214 Marion Avenue. But we're going to hold a class there. We'll have some refreshments. There will be some door prizes, and we're just going to talk about midwifery as a whole. And if there's anything that people have questions about, we can absolutely answer it at that class for sure.
Free of charge?
Free of charge.
Free of charge.
So we have, if you want to come, we're asking people to RSVP. You can call or text. The number is going to be 601-248-2666.
Oh, that's easy to remember. 2666. Like that. Even I can remember that, and my brain fried about 15 years ago.
I like to keep it simple.
Yeah, well, you probably have to, and that's probably an integral part of what you do as well, is simplifying some very complicated, very scary
Absolutely.
ideas.
Education is a big part of midwifery. It's one of my favorite things.
And I got to ask you before we go, why is it pronounced midwifery and not midwifery? It's got to
be the English. It's got to be those Brits over there. Who knows? They say things weird.
It's the crumpets.
Gotta be.
Sometimes you get a crumpet crumb stuck in your denture somewhere, and a word comes out wrong, and then it catches on. I really got to find a new line of work. I'm not sure I'm cut out for this one at this point. I have enjoyed this. Give them again, just very quickly, the details on the class coming up next week.
So it's Midwifery 101. It's going to be at 214 Marion Avenue. It's going to be at 5:30 Monday night. If you need to RSVP, it's going to be 601-248-2666.
Nailed it. Man, she's good. And she's waiting to help you and also, not incidentally, hold your baby for you. Putting in a plug, trying to build it up.
Anything to snuggle babies.
Tell me about it. Is something about, the little teeny tiny baby. Man, it's fantastic. I also have way too many grandkids, by the way, so I've been fully addicted at this point. Tera Givens, enjoyed it. Keep up the good work over there and keep us up to date. Come back sometime and we'll talk some more about it and get some more details on how the program is going at Southwest. But everybody, Southwest Health Systems, you have a midwifery option. Did I get it right?
Got it perfect.
Excellent lie. Thank you.
Thank
we
you.
will continue on this Tuesday morning right after this. Here on SuperTalk, Mississippi, Pike County 93.5. Keep it here.
Ladies, your health is your priority, and the Women's Health Center in Macomb is here to support you. We're thrilled to announce the return of Dr. Ann Vu. Dr. Vu joins our dedicated team, including Dr. Kevin Richardson, nurse practitioner Shayla Stanberry, and midwife Tera Givens. From routine checkups to specialized care, we offer comprehensive services tailored to your needs. Schedule your appointment today. Visit us at 1318 Harrison Avenue or call 601-684-2300. The Women's Health Center, where your well-being comes first.
North Pike football is back. It's another exciting season of North Pike Jaguar football on SuperTalk Mississippi Pike County 93.5. Brought to you by Southern Metalworks, Toyota of Brookhaven, Burton Tree Service, Exhaust Pro, Southwest Health, Peterbilt of Macomb, and Lot Furniture. It's North Pike Jaguar football on the air at 93.5 FM. Available online at supertalkpikecounty.com and through your Alexa devices.
Don't miss Dave in the morning, even when you miss it the first time. You can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. SuperTalk 93.5 is always the place to be. Wanna get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com, it's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, or just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have to pray. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com, it's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, or just right there on the page.
The cult of personality. I know your anger, I know your dreams. I've been anything you wanna be. Oh, I'm the cult of personality.
Welcome back. Super Talk, Mississippi, Pike County, 93.5.
I'm the cult of personality.
Several things to talk about. Number one, the government more than likely going to shut down tonight at midnight. Let me know when and if you notice. Back in 2018, that was the last time it shut down. That was also the longest shutdown of the federal government in the history of the country. It was down for 35 days over the Christmas break, basically, in 2018. That was the last time. There have been 11 since 1980. 11 different government shutdowns, lasting from a few hours to, again, 35 days. This has gotten old and nobody cares. Let me just say the part out loud everyone's thinking. Nobody cares. You continually get scare quotes and scare tactics about how this is going to destroy the life of the average American. No, it's not. Social Security checks still go out. If we could figure out a way to make sure the troops still get paid, I'm not really sure what we're going to be missing. Now, has been talk that 100,000 people are going to resign today rather than be laid off. That's kind of a smart self-serving move. That if they resign, if they retire, whatever, they get to keep their whatever benefits, whatever retirement and everything they've built up. But here is the question. What do you do if we shut it down and President Trump immediately lets a bunch of people go, which he has said he's thinking very seriously about doing? Everybody that's non-essential, well, by definition, you're non-essential. Goodbye. What if that happens and you don't notice a difference in your day-to-day life? Does it matter? Are those people necessary? That's the point I think the president is going to try to get to with this. We'll have to wait and see. They could throw together some, the Democrats could cave today because it was made pretty clear with that meeting yesterday that the Republicans aren't budging. So the Democrats would have to cave almost completely. If that happens, we'll move forward as we're moving now. But if we reach midnight, we don't have a deal, this may be the most interesting shutdown of the federal government we've ever had in this country. It's going to be very fascinating to watch and see how this plays out. So brace up for it. It's going to be a good one. Last night, if you didn't hear, Governor Jeff Landry of Louisiana, right there, less than 15 miles from where I'm sitting, sent a request to Pete Hegseth, Secretary of War, Secretary of Defense, whichever one you're going to use, to activate 1,000 National Guardsmen to deploy across the state of Louisiana to get crime under control. Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Shreveport. Alexandria is a hot spot right over in the almost dead center of the state. They had a thing the other day, like 4 or 5 days ago. 4 different people got shot, and they don't really know why. They were just on the side of the road, is what I heard, and just got shot, and they're still trying to figure it out. It's long been a problem over there. Been to Alexandria many times. Lovely town. Got friends that live there. But, just like every place else in America, the crime is a problem. Now, here is my question. It just came out last week. Jackson is once again the murder capital of America. On a per capita rate, more people get killed in Mississippi's capital city than any other city in America. When is it time to get some National Guard troops in here? Sort this stuff out. And is there any possibility we could break a platoon off from Macomb? Oh, that would go over well. You remember what happened when the sheriff's department in Pike County decided to try to help out in Macomb. Oh, it was a horrible imposition. Just spitballing here. I'm just saying Louisiana's governor just did it. We could do it. We need to do it. For a lot of different... We had somebody get stabbed to death in Tylertown over the weekend. That's the place we have wound up at. That's where we're at now. It's time for a drastic measure to get it under control. I'm going to change tacks just a little bit in case you didn't hear about the wreck yesterday. There was an accident, 2 vehicles. Somebody was turning onto Highway 51 in Summit. They were trying to turn southbound, going towards Walmart. And then a pickup truck was already going southbound, hit them. Now, when they hit them, the car they hit, the Nissan, put it in the ditch on the north side of the road. The pickup that hit the Nissan lost control, went over and hit 4 parked cars at the waste management office. You had people that were out on trucks from waste management, picking up your garbage, doing everything right. They showed up to work. They get back at the end of their shift and their car is totaled in the parking lot. Number one, everybody needs to quit driving so stupid, but I'm going to take this in a slightly different direction. If you have been on Highway 51, specifically trying to turn onto Highway 51, I never try to turn across the traffic. In other words, if I need to go south on 51. I'm in a parking lot of a business on 51. I need to go south. I usually just turn right and go north and then work my way back around. Because Highway 51 has gotten ridiculously busy and congested. It's a good thing. It's a good problem to have. That means people are out spending money, living their lives. That's fine. But I would like to point something out. Highway 51, it's a state highway. How much money are we spending on the big roundabout project at the intersection of the interstate and 98 in Summit? Because of the stated reason of we've had several near accidents. How many accidents have we had on Highway 51 and we haven't done a thing? Now, this opens up a very sticky can of worms. Because the obvious answer to help alleviate that, bare minimum, widen 51 enough to have a turn lane in the middle. That would eliminate quite a bit. or just widen it out completely. But where's the land going to come from? I mean, yeah, you can go in and take somebody's property. I've never been a big fan of that to begin with. Sometimes it does become necessary, but just not a fan of it. Having said that, you ride down 51. Next time you're riding down or up 51, I want you to look at it. A lot of the buildings, a lot of the houses, they're pretty close to the edge of the road where it's at now. There's not a lot of space to move unless you're starting to, ask people to tear down their building. That's not going to fly. So we're kind of between a rock and a hard place here. The wreck yesterday was a great example of the problem as it exists. It's too busy. I suspect, I don't know this at all, I suspect somebody tried to gun it and get out through a quick gap. They had probably been sitting there trying to turn across traffic for 10 minutes. They got impatient, and bad things happened. That's why I always just go with the side I'm closest on. That's the direction I'm going. Might not be the direction I need to go, but it's the direction I'm going. Because everybody drives at least 10 miles an hour over the speed limit, and they do it unintelligently. We'll use that word. That's a kinder word than stupid. Well, now I've said stupid. I might as well just go with that. It is getting less safe by the day. I'll put it like that. Yesterday's accident, a great example of that. Sooner or later, we have to do something. I'm sorry, if we can sink millions of dollars into completely redoing an interstate interchange because we've had a few near accidents. We had 6 cars basically totaled yesterday on Highway 51 between Macomb and Summit. That's not a near accident. That's an accident. So if we can spend that kind of money and time to fix a problem that has almost created accidents a few times, what are we going to do about the road where we're having accidents? Now, I would like to also say, if they ever decided to do something, whatever they decided to do, you think the work on Delaware was a nightmare for traffic. They start having to block off one side at the time on 51. Oh, we got a whole different level of problems there because there's so much traffic that goes up and down 51. If you're not familiar with it, if you haven't been there in a while, you ought to take a little ride. You need to take a little ride up to Summit anyway. Lovely town. See what they've done with it. They exploded a couple of years back, and it's just been gangbusters ever since. But that stretch of Highway 51 is, I'm going to be kind and say, heavily traveled. So yes, it would be a nightmare, but sometimes you have to go through a nightmare to get to the good stuff. We went through the nightmare of Delaware and the work they did there, and look at what we got. It's beautiful. Marion is gorgeous now. I don't know if you've been taking the turn onto Marion off of the new Delaware. Smooth as glass there, too. They don't have the speed bumps back up in front of the hospital. Those are coming. You got to give it time to set and cure before they can pop that down. So give that a little bit of time and they'll be back. Might be back this morning. I don't know. I didn't come that way. But you got to go through the painful part to get the good stuff. Delaware, Marion, both of them, excellent examples of that. And if you want to see the before and after difference, drive the entire length of Delaware down to downtown, because that one stretch there, boy, is it a difference when you hit that as opposed to driving on the new pavement. No potholes necessarily. That's the kicker. It's just rough. And you didn't really notice it. It was the good part of Delaware until the paving got done on the rest of it. And now you're like, oh, Oh, that's a difference. So yes, you have to go through headaches to get the good stuff. It would be an enormous migraine level headache to do work on 51. It'll have to be done sooner or later. Is there any way we could put in some kind of turn lane when we go to do that? I think that's the simplest, most feasible answer. Put a turn lane down the middle of 51. And we get to avoid some problems. You could argue, there's no guarantees in anything, but you could argue that if we had a turn lane down the middle of 51, that wreck that happened yesterday wouldn't have happened. And you wouldn't have had waste management people coming in from a hard shift to find their vehicle upside down in the parking lot and totaled. That's a horrible feeling. It's got to be. Doing everything you can, digging hard, working hard, and then something like that happens when you're not even there. That's absolutely horrible. But I just wanted to throw it out there, wanted to start the discussion because it's time. It's a little past time. But the accident yesterday, great prompt to have the discussion. Because we have to have that discussion and we have to start trying to figure out what to do. And who we have to pester endlessly until it gets done. If there's one thing I'm good at, it's endless pestering. You know that. So I feel like I'm kind of giving an expert opinion here. But we have to find out who it is, what it is, where it is, and start working on it. Or we're going to have more accidents. And we've already had enough. We had 3 accidents and 1 wreck yesterday. 6 cars damaged from 1 accident.
This is the end.
Need to do something about that. Just my opinion. When we come back, speaking of doing something, there's also an element of doing something that we need to discuss, and it's timeliness. And we'll talk about that when we come back on Super Talk, Mississippi Pike County 93.5 on a Tuesday morning. Good morning to you.
Dr. Patrick Daigle is now seeing patients at Mississippi Women's OBGYN. While his location has changed from the Women's Health Center, Dr. Daigle's commitment to exceptional care remains stronger than ever. You'll find the same trusted care now at a new location within the Southwest Health Network. Dr. Daigle and Dr. James Nobles providing comprehensive women's health services at Mississippi Women's OBGYN. Same trusted care, new location, 205 Marion Avenue in Macomb, or call 601-250-4275.
North Pike football is back. It's another exciting season of North Pike Jaguar football on Super Talk, Mississippi Pike County 93.5. Brought to you by Southern Metalworks, Toyota of Brookhaven, Burton Tree Service, Exhaust Pro, Southwest Health, Peterbilt of Macomb, and Lot Furniture. It's North Pike Jaguar football on the air at 93.5 FM. Available online at SuperTalkPikeCounty.com and through your Alexa devices.
Don't miss Dave in the morning. Even when you miss it the first time, you can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. Super Talk 93.5 is always the place to be. Wanna get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have the crave. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Dave Hughes here. Remember, every weekday morning at 9:06, it's Dave in the Morning, where we solve the problems of the world, or at least complain about them really loudly and sarcastically. And if you miss out, you can catch up with the podcast version of Dave in the Morning at SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. Welcome back. Super Talk, Mississippi, Pike County, 93.5. You ever housebroken a puppy? I'm going somewhere with this. Just hold on for dear life. When you housebreak a puppy, teach them not to poop on the floor. I mean, to be fair, we do the same thing with kids, right? Just slightly different techniques. But you catch it as soon as you can, you fuss at them, you let them know what the problem is, don't do this anymore, and make them not want to do it again. But you got to do it right then. If you've got a puppy and it poops or it wheezes on the floor, and you walk past it for several hours, look at it, and the puppy's right there, and then you come back all of a sudden and start fussing at them, they don't even know what you're talking about. Especially if you've already cleaned up the mess. They have no idea. It has no impact on them. And it is not an effective way to teach them what not to do. Speed is essential. This brings us to the Macomb Railroad Depot Museum. May 30th, 2021. The young man who burned it down, Marquez Smith, is finally about to come up for trial over 4 years later. Now, here to me is part of the problem. We have gotten a little too, how do I put this? I don't want to say slow, because the process moves at the speed the process moves at, but I'm sorry. The hearing yesterday set his trial date for October 28th. The newly rebuilt Depot Museum has its grand reopening November 1st, 3 days later. So it took the same amount of time to raise the money, get the grant money, get the permits, get the plans, get it approved, get construction started, going through it in stages, getting approval at every one, finally reaching the end and get it ready to reopen. It took the same amount of time to do that as it did to bring the guy who burned the original one down to trial. That's too long. That's just too slow. The puppy is going to be confused. I realize people and puppies are different. For example, a puppy has never burned down somebody else's property because he was upset with mommy. In case you haven't heard it, that is the story that apparently he was 20 at that point. He's like 25 now, 24. He told police that his mother had threatened to kick him out of the house, said he was mad and he was worried about how he would eat, and then realized jail would give him food and shelter. Well, for 4.5 years, he's been right. And hasn't even been to trial yet. We have to figure out a way to speed this process up. We have to. It should not take as long to go through all of the multiple steps to rebuild something that someone destroyed. It shouldn't take the same amount of time to get them to trial. And within 3 days, because his trial is set for October 28th, the Depot Museum reopens, grand reopening, November 1st. So 3 days difference. It shouldn't take as long to hold them accountable as it does to fix it, if you ask me. There's a horrible way to train a puppy, and it's a horrible way, a terrible example, not only to the person who did it, but to everybody else watching this out there, who, for whatever reason, whether it's because they're having some mental challenges, shall we say, or they're just horrible people, we got some of both floating around, they sit back and watch this and go, oh, so 4.5 years free vacation. That'd be pretty nice. Since that was one of the stated reasons for burning it down that this person allegedly gave, we know that's a thought process that comes up sometimes. That was one of the stated reasons, apparently this time. That's too long. I realized that there was, in the middle of the process, it wasn't quite a normal process because he was sent off to Whitfield to be evaluated to see if he was competent to stand trial. He was determined to be competent to stand trial, and now we're moving forward to an actual trial. We have a lot of cases that are just slow poking along. We have to figure out how to speed things up a bit. I'm not saying take anyone's rights away from them. I'm not saying that every single person doesn't deserve their due process. Far from it. Exactly the opposite. I'm just saying it doesn't take 4.5 years to give someone due process when it takes 4.5 years to rebuild a burnt out hunk of a building from scratch. One of those should be quicker than the other. And it's not the building. It's interesting that it's timed out this way. Because within 3 days, if it was on the same, if his trial was going to be on the day of the grand opening, it would have been dead on. But it's only 3 days off from that. So that's close enough for horseshoes and hand grenades and apparently accelerants. So it's close enough to draw the comparison. The clock on rebuilding and on giving him his day in court to determine if he did what he said he did. Notice that part. The clock started at the same exact instant 4.5 years ago. The trial part should not have taken as long to get to as reopening the brand new, rebuilt museum. That's a problem. And you may say, well, it doesn't matter. I mean, he's been incarcerated the entire time. He's not going to hurt anything. You're missing the psychological aspect of punishment, not just for him, but for everybody else, what I talked about a minute ago. Justice has to be as swift as possible. Justice has to be swifter than construction. I don't think that's too much of an ask. It just seems like by the time it comes up for somebody to have their day in court, and this is not a Southwest Mississippi problem. This is the entire country I'm talking about here. I'm just using this as an example. This is not unusual. It's everywhere. Every kind of state, Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter. Throw that over to the side. Part of it is our justice system is overwhelmed with people doing bad things and having to have their day in court for it. But there's got to be a way to make things march a little better, a little quicker, a little more smoothly to where we get to the payoff. guilty or not guilty, which would be decided in a court of law, as it should be. But it shouldn't, in my opinion, take 4.5 years. And there are plenty of other cases, some of them still haven't come to trial, that are the same situation. We have to figure out a way to start marching a little quicker down the road to justice. Because the delay isn't doing anyone any good, and all the rest of the puppies are continuing to make messes because they don't see anybody getting any kind of punishment directly associated with what happened that makes them want to not do it. The punishment should serve as a deterrent. And I don't know that it's moving quick enough to do that. Not effectively. Again, I'm not focused on just this one case or right here in Southwest Mississippi. Far from it. There's a process. You go through it as quick as you are able to. I understand that. I'm just saying we need, in this country, to retool things to where as quick as we're able is a shorter time frame. Just my thoughts on that. You know, I could get started on the thing about him being in a bad place emotionally, but you know who was in a bad place emotionally? Everybody who had any kind of interest or investment in the original Railroad Depot Museum.
If you cry out for more, if you reached out for me, I would run to the store just to keep.
Final break, final thoughts, and then we're outies on this Tuesday right after this on SuperTalk, Mississippi, Pike County, 93.5.
Tired of living with an overactive bladder? Constant trips to the restroom and sudden leaks don't have to disrupt your life. Axonics Therapy at Southwest Urology Clinic offers a long-term solution helping you regain control and confidence. This advanced FDA-approved treatment is safe, effective, and designed to fit your lifestyle, and best of all, it's right here close to home. Take the first step toward lasting relief. Call Southwest Urology Clinic at 601-250-4344 today to learn more about Axonics Therapy, because confidence starts with control.
North Pike football is back. It's another exciting season of North Pike Jaguar football on SuperTalk, Mississippi, Pike County 93.5. Brought to you by Southern Metal Works, Toyota of Brookhaven, Burton Tree Service, Exhaust Pro, Southwest Health, Peterbilt of Macomb, and Lot Furniture. It's North Pike Jaguar football on the air at 93.5 FM. Available online at supertalkpikecounty.com and through your Alexa devices.
Closing time. Open all the doors and let you out into the world.
That'll do it.
Closing time.
No meeting or work session of the Macomb City Board tonight. It's the 5th Tuesday, so we get to take a week off. A well-deserved breather, a knee, if you will. Do me a favor. Have a wonderful day. Be safe. And we'll do this again tomorrow morning at 9:06. My friend, I'll see you then.
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.